Uh, yeah, I just keep it steady on the magic. Do my thing, I'm healing, it's fantastic. If I fall, rise automatic. You ain't know now, you know. I'm the one raise myself like a tree from the roots. West side girl, cause she lit in the coast. East side girl when she speaks to the roots. Stay 100 cause she on with the truth. Been there on struggle, know that it pass. Only going up, yeah, the pain don't last. Ooh, take off. Ooh, take off. Ooh, take off. This is take off, take off, take off. Shorty like Brandy, fight like Monica. What you know about her? Baby girl rising, way to the top. Shaking the world, don't expect her to stop. Purpose so great, she get what she got. Follow her step, cause she following God. What you need more, got a heart full of gold. Even at times when it's raining and cold. Ooh, she bout take off. Ooh, she bout.
What up, what up, what up, y'all? It's your girl Hannah, aka Ruta, and you are watching the Uprooted Network. Welcome back, y'all, to another installment of Black Men Speak Sundays. My guy Sammy is here in the building. For those of you who are watching with us live on YouTube right now, y'all, I'm excited. First and foremost, Sammy's the last guy. Before I take a hiatus, I'm going to take a little break, so we're gonna close it out strong this week for this segment. And I'm so excited because some people might call it encouragement. Some people might say it was a little bit of peer pressure bullying that I don't condone of. But I convinced my friend Sammy to come on. We met with our clubhouse gang in TikTok Club, and we have been cracking up ever since. And Sammy just so happens to be a professor. And whenever we talk about his job, we joke around a lot. But when we were thinking about it and talking about it, I was like, actually, Sammy, you should come on because there's a lot of students in university right now that are also going through a tough time, and you yourself just transitioned, from being a student to a professor. So I was really excited to have you on and to have this conversation. So everybody, welcome Sammy. Sammy, tell the people what's up. Let them know a little bit about you.
All right, all right. Hello, everyone. My name is Sammy. And now, first of all, I would like to thank you for having me on this show. Um, yeah, my name is Sammy. I'm a professor at Kennesaw State University, which is in Atlanta. I teach information technology, mostly focusing on information security related courses. Um,
That's a
yeah,
lot. every time you say that, I have to ask you like three more times. Like I'm like, you do okay. Say it one more time. Information, and I'm like, it's okay. You could tell them yourself because I'm always
right.
getting it wrong. For those people who are like me, who are a little bit computer illiterate, what does that actually mean? So that's like firewall stuff, like people scamming your identity. Like, what does that actually
Yeah,
entail?
so with our college, we have CCSE, which is computing and software engineering. That's the college, and then within that, we have information technology department.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with the information technology department, and within that, we teach different courses, and we have different concentrations. And one of the concentrations is information security. So that focuses on basically from personal security like with internet to enterprise security. So we teach a lot of enterprise how to properly secure your infrastructure on enterprise level and personal level as well.
Okay. See, all right. So this is like, we be watching those movies and they're doing like espionage with these companies trying to steal each other's data.
Yeah.
Like they be trying to hack into each other's cloud. They're trying to like steal product details or X, Y, and Z. So like you are the people that were like make sure our network is protected, essentially.
Yes, yeah, actually, well, yeah, like we teach those courses as well, and one of the cool courses that we teach is actually ethical hacking. So you actually get to, hack uh, legally, and another one that we teach is computer forensics. So, I mean, it's a digital age right now, and there's a lot of crime that's being committed with internet and digitally. So we teach those fundamentals as well.
Oh my God, I get like 10 scam likely calls a day. Like these people are ruthless. Like I swear to God, Sammy, like you laughing, but I swear to God, I get like a million scam like and you know they're robots. Like you know what I mean?
Yep.
They're just
Mhm.
bots and it's like the I always worry about our elders because they're like they don't know. It sounds like some government shit to them, so they're just like, "Oh, okay," and they're just giving their information out. And
Right.
so that's always scary. So we need people like you around essentially is what we're saying. Um especially as I think about like for me what rebuilding like Tigray looks like and what position that role plays because we see
Mhm.
like what happened to our telecommunications, you know what I mean? Having a complete blackout,
Right.
not having any type of like control over our own media, like anything, you know? And I think about that in terms of our security and like as we build infrastructure, like how do we also protect people in this space, you know? So I'm like, oh, okay. Like he out here. Like we got some of y'all. Cause I was like really like, I don't know how to do this. That's not my forte. You know what I mean? So like you
Right.
say it very casually, but you know, I gotta give you your flowers because I don't know what you do for real. Like I get the concept, but if you asked me to do like what you do, I wouldn't know the first place to start. It's so
Sign
wild.
up for my courses.
Okay, Sammy. Listen, hey, I'm getting a cut, y'all. Okay, when Uprooted courses launch, just know Sammy Sammy will be the teacher. I'll do the production, not a problem.
I
Listen, I'm
got you.
manifesting that for you. Okay, we got some friends as they said, my brother is number one professor.
Hey. Okay.
Listen, we love it. We love it. Zuhair on Facebook said Sammy Nakadmeet. And we got our friend Zion here said Deka Tigray. We here, we out here, you know, we out here. But yeah, sign up for Sammy's classes. I'll sign up because I don't know the first thing about it, and I already be telling Sammy I was like, okay, when I got a project, I'm gonna need you. Whoever like says smart shit to me, I'm like, okay. As soon as I get to that part of this business building, I'm like, I know who I'm gonna call. I'm about to be like, okay, you gonna do my communication system. I'm like, Lil, you gonna do my app? Like, you know, like I'll be just in my
I
mind, just
got you.
you know what I'm saying, putting y'all in place to help out. So this is dope. So for people who don't know, can you break down a little bit more about how you became a professor? Because I always like, I think sometimes there's like this mystical like process that people think it is, you know? And I'm like,
Right.
I'm pretty sure there's a job application. Like, you know, I'm sure there is a process. So for people who might be unaware, because our, you know, our culture, we love our teachers. What we like, Memher Sami? That's it. Big respect you, my lady. So like, go ahead and tell them.
Yeah. So where do I start? So I finished my undergrad back in 2017, and I actually did my undergrad in electronic media, right? So that's a mixture of communications and film a little bit. So, and then I started working in the media. I started working for QVC. I was working on the tech side there. So as soon as I started working there, they had like tuition reimbursement programs.
Mhm.
So right away, I started looking for master's program, and I started a couple of master's program like in person, and that did not work. It did not work out because I was working and then going to school at night. It just did not fit with my lifestyle and work. So I switched to fully online program right away.
Mhm.
And the school I found was Kennesaw State. So I did attended Kennesaw State for about a year and a half. It was fully online and finished back this past May actually. So I
Mhm.
finished May. Um, and they had an opening for a teaching position, right? So right after it was, I think it was like 2 weeks after graduation. So
Okay.
the department head actually sent out an email for our graduating class and on posted it on LinkedIn as well. So recent grads, you guys are qualified to apply for this position.
Mhm.
And as soon as I saw that, something just clicked in me. I was like, yo, I'm gonna get this job.
Okay. He said, "I'm gonna get this job." Okay, no
Yeah,
hesitation.
it's so crazy because, like, when I apply for a job, I hate doing like cover letters, all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
just some of my application be done, right? But for this one, I had to get my stuff ready. So I wrote my cover letter and everything, and
Mhm.
the department already knew me for before graduation. The school did some kind of article about me and stuff, so like my name was already out
You
there.
didn't tell me you had an article about you? Okay,
Yeah, they
we
did.
can discuss this in a second. Go ahead, though.
So they were kind of familiar with my name. So I submitted the application. 2 days later, I get an email saying that, hey, are you still interested in the position? We'd like to interview you. I was like, yeah. So we set it up, and so the first step was I had to do a phone interview with
Mhm.
the professors. Like, it was a panel interview. That went well, and then I had to
They
do,
love panels in higher ed. Oh
yeah.
my god, they love a good panel. Oh my god. Okay, continue.
Yeah, and I mean, we actually, like, right now we're looking for a couple of professors, and we're looking for a dean as well. So they're asking us, hey, like, you want to join for the interview? Come in, watch. So
Mhm.
they do love those. So I did that, and then another one was I had to do a demo lecture. So basically, they told me to prepare a
Mhm.
20-minute presentation. So pick an IT topic that you like, and basically treat us, do a PowerPoint, and then treat us like, we are all your student, right?
Yeah.
And I had to do, I had to prepare for that. And I was kind of nervous going to the interview, right? So, like, I hated doing presentations back in school. I hated those.
You hate okay,
So,
so we gotta pause. Hold on. How are you gonna hate doing presentations, but you want to be a teacher? You that means you
I'm
present like every week.
listen, I'm about to tell you, yeah. So I was kind of nervous. I'm back, and when I was an
Mhm.
undergrad, like, I hated doing that. So I mean, any opportunity I got, I kind of dodged it, or I did the last slide, the intro, and the ending. But
Yeah.
so with the interview, with the demo lecture, I I introduced myself, and then, like, after I did the first slide, something just clicked in me. I was like, "Yo, you got this. It's going well." So
You said game
basically,
time, baby. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, they had a timer and everything. So I finished the demo lecture right on time, 20 minutes, and I was on my last slide, wrapped it up. Yo, like, something in me just changed. It was like,
Mhm.
critical moment in my life, basically.
Okay.
It was a weird feeling. So, and after that, like, I had this crazy confidence. You know what? Like, you can do this. Like,
Mhm.
this is you. And surprisingly, like, they were very, like, excited, with my performance, and they liked it. And then I think it was like 2 days later, they were like, hey, we'd like to offer you the position, and that was it.
We love that.
The
We
whole process basically took like 2 weeks.
Okay, that's not how it always happens for everybody,
I
but
know, right?
the steps are still the same. So there was a
Yeah.
couple of nuggets, there was a couple gems in there. I wanted people to think first and foremost though, before I jump into that. Did you have to do any like TA, like teacher assistant situations in your master's program where you were like teaching at all, or was that part of it?
No, no, I was not. No, it was mainly, it was fully online program, so we didn't really have that option.
Wow. Okay, so you went from like no teaching experience to I'm gonna be a teacher. That was the jump that you decided to make, Sammy.
Basically, yeah. Here's the funny thing, though.
Hmm.
Uh, that's like, I didn't even hesitate to apply for this position, and take this position when they
Okay.
offered it to me, because this goes back to this whole, like, Tigray situation, right?
Hmm.
So you already know this. I was in Addis from December until May,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, I mean, Addis is close to Tigray than the states. So like you hear a lot of information firsthand. It was a very stressful time for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But hearing like with the school system being disrupted, schools being looted, and all that, it used to bother me a lot.
Yeah.
And it was something that I used to like think about all the time because okay, uh, this war is gonna end, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how are we gonna like rebuild Tigray, right? If we're gonna rebuild Tigray,
Yeah.
like independent Tigray moving on, right, in the future, I think in my opinion, education plays a big role in that, right?
Mhm.
So I already had that in my head, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think I was gonna be a professor, but like I always wanted to work in that field, like
Mhm.
in that sector.
Yeah.
So and when I saw the email from the department head, I was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, this might be the perfect opportunity because as we all know, like uh, these higher ed, when you're in higher ed, you have a lot of opportunities. You get to connect with a lot of people. You
Yeah.
get to work with a lot of people. So, um, I mean, I knew this was gonna open a lot of doors for me,
Mhm.
and what I want to do. So that's why I didn't hesitate like to take this opportunity.
Okay, we love this. All right, so let's break this down for a couple of people because that's quite the journey. So you went from student, you were finishing up your degree then in Addis still, if I'm.
Yes, so yeah, I was on my last semester. I was in Addis. I was working remotely, so I was working and then doing school at the same time.
Mhm.
So spring semester was my last semester. Yeah,
Okay. I feel like I don't know why I didn't put that two and two together in my head. Like if that makes sense. Like I knew you were in Adi, I knew you're okay, anyways.
right,
Clearly me and my timeline that didn't that didn't happen. But I'm sure I'm not the only one. So you were then, if I'm understanding, first and foremost, in Adi as the war started and personally afflicted. You know what I mean? As a student
right,
yourself and an employee, right? So you're working, dealing with the global pandemic, and then there's a war on your people. And for you, while you're already in school, could understand, it could see that education was going to be so vital and important in actually revitalizing a people, not just the buildings that we build, but like the power of education. And so
right,
from what I'm understanding and what I would maybe characterize it as is you you found your purpose, it sounds like to me, where there's a walk that you walk in, there is a like confidence that comes from knowing that you are in the right place at the right time and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I think it's like a feeling of purpose that a lot of people are looking for and have not found.
mm,
So like when you were talking, I could understand that. I was like, as tired as I am, and as much as I need a break after this week, like I wouldn't switch what I'm doing with anybody. Like,
right.
like I understand what I'm doing and who I'm doing it for, and it's such a strong feeling. So you had that, you had this confidence, without experience, without actually liking the parts of the job, because you could relate to foundationally what the mission was for yourself. Like I feel like you're a mission
Hmm.
driven purpose, um like kind of person. That was like why you were able to be on this journey and to do this and to teach students now, and it's quite hilarious, I must say. From your friend to you, it's always so funny to me. So we have tons of scenarios, and I actually do have a lot of friends that are teachers or are admin or like some type of mentor in different school settings, right? So I
Hmm.
always find it funny because you guys are so quick to forget that you were that annoying student like 2 seconds ago. um,
Yeah.
so let's talk about what that transition looks like. You were a stressed out grad student in ID, finishing up your last semester, and trying to manage that stress. So, can we break down what it was like for you as a student, and now that you are a professor, what has changed?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, that spring semester was very stressful,
Mhm.
for a lot of reasons, right? So the reason I actually went to ID was, we had a family emergency, right? So we all went there, and I decided I only went there for a month, and then, once I figured out like I could work from there remotely, I
Mhm.
decided to, stay there and be with my sister, my family. uh, it was definitely stressful. I mean, with everything that's going on, you have work, you have, the school workload.
Yeah.
Um, it was a very stressful time. But I think I mean, I tell my friends this all the time, and I think the only thing that got me through that time was just like, hope, right? So
Mhm.
okay, like, this is gonna be behind us. Okay, how are we gonna uh, fix this, right? How are we gonna contribute moving forward, right? This is not gonna last forever, right? It's gonna end. But when it ends, are we in a good place to contribute? So, that was something that, like, helped me to get up every morning, and that's how I kind of managed it basically.
Okay. Um, you said a couple things in there, and I think that that would resonate with all the students right now, right? Because there's
Hmm.
students who were finishing up a spring semester as well. But even before that, the whole year, you guys have been virtual because of the pandemic, anyways, right? So that's why you were able to work
Right.
remotely. That's why you were able to even be there in the first place. You're braver than me. My dad used to try to ask me to like do my classes online and stay in ID, and I said I just don't trust your Wi-Fi. Like I just don't. I was like I do not trust the internet. I was like there was certain things for me that I was like I cannot do it here because telecoms used to always go out. You know,
Hmm.
electricity loves to go out all the time back home, for a variety of reasons, on purpose and on accident. And
Yeah.
then and then you're talking about like the stress of different time zones and trying to like manage like doing your work on a different time zone, being in with your family, being in a stressful environment, not knowing and being a like a Tigrayan person in Addis at a time where Tigrayan people are being persecuted, right? So
Right.
like that is a lot. And so I love what you said about like you holding on to hope was the only thing that got you through it, because I know for me that's what I do every day. You know what I mean? That's why I do this show. That's why
Hmm.
I do Manifest Mondays. That's why I'm always talking to you guys and I'm like, nope, we gonna build back. We gonna like, like I refuse to let my brain go otherwise. So for you, like what did communication look like to manage that, like for you to manage how you were going to show up at work? Like did you let your employers know the situation that you were like were they aware, were your professors aware? Because I think right now like there's people who are like beyond stressed because it's been a year, right? um,
Right.
who are overwhelmed, who need maybe extensions or extra grace or ever extra love. What did you do as a student, and then what does it look like now that you're a professor, like on the other end, like because you're now receiving those emails, not sending them. So what
Yeah.
type of student were you?
So when I was a student, a I did communicate. I mean, I'm glad you brought that point. I think right now, like, with everything being virtual and not seeing face to face, I think communication plays a big role in that. Even with my work, they already knew I had a family emergency, and then even when they gave me a month off, like, hey, take as much as you need, be with your family. And then once I decided even stay there and work, they were okay. As long as you're working, you're getting your stuff done, you can stay there as long as you want. And that's communication as well. I had to explain everything, what was going on and with the whole situation, right? As a student, I mean, we had I was taking a couple of classes and then my senior capstone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that, we had to do a weekly check-in with our advisor.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we were kind of late or we needed an extension, we always kind of, emailed him saying that, hey, actually I had to let them know I was in a different country. So like even with the check-ins that we had to kind of adjust the time zone, the timing.
Yeah.
So they were very accommodating with that, and we also had a couple of, I think, girls from India in my group,
Mm-hmm.
so they were in a different time zone as well. So we had to communicate that with the group and then with the advisor, and they were very accommodating, right? So right now, from the other side, I do get a lot of email from students, especially right now from my online classes, right? So my online students are from all over the state, right? Because it's virtual, so you can attend from wherever,
Yeah.
and a lot of them actually are older, working people, working
Yeah.
students. So they work during the day, and they attend class online. So I mean, some of them are parents. They got a lot going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and I actually, for example, a couple of weeks ago, I had a student that had a family member pass away from COVID, right?
Oh no.
So she emailed me basically saying that, hey, my dad is in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not able to complete this assignment for this week,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to let you know, and she communicated that with me, so I had to give her an extension. That was when her dad was in the hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a couple of days later, he passed away. So she emailed me back saying that, hey, my dad passed away. So can I get an extension on this? So of course, I had to give her the extension, and she communicated that with me, and everything was set. So I think with this whole situation with the COVID and everything being virtual, I think communication plays a big role, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my advice for students is that, okay, I understand a lot of students are stressed out, right? It's that
Oh
time
yeah.
of the year, past the midterm, a lot of papers, assignments, projects are coming up. You got your personal life with COVID and everything. So the best thing that you can do is communicate with your professors. Let them know, hey, uh, I'm stressed out. This is the situation. This is what I'm going through right now. So
Mm-hmm.
can I get an extension, or how can you help me? Right?
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I personally do appreciate those emails when I get them, right?
Yeah.
So because I mean, the reason I'm there is to help them, right? So
Yeah.
I would do everything in my power to accommodate them, and try to get the, try to solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So always communicate with your professors.
Okay, we love that. And we like to give you a hard time, your friends, us in Clubhouse. We give Sammy a hard time. We're like, don't be mean to these students, and because the Habashas, the Tigrayan professors have a stereotype of being very, very strict, right? And high performers, okay? So we're always like, kind of difficult. So I wanted people to hear like one, I put it up on the screen. I can put it back up. It's like you have to ask for what you need. If you don't
Hmm.
ask, then like nobody knows how to help you. So I would even, add to what you're saying in let's not, unless it's an emergency, it's an emergency, right? But like if you can foresee something coming, like for instance, right now with students, we know that the 1 year mark of this genocide is coming. We have a date for it. I think all of us have like mentally, emotionally already started feeling it, and like I can tell there's been a lot more chaotic energy around me lately. People have been on edge. Their patience has been very thin. It's that time of
Hmm.
the year. You know what I mean? It's that time of the year where the season is yet again going to change. We're getting into colder weather. People's like sadness is coming in, their anxiety is through the roof because of what you're talking about, right? Like you guys have midterms, you have papers, it's right before the holidays, so you're trying to figure out your travel plans. um, some people don't want to go home and be around parents during the holidays, like it's like a toxic environment. Whatever the case is, for us too, we're thinking about this 1 year mark and the fact that our families have been stuck in this nightmare for a year, and that we have also been feeling like paralyzed in this like sense of fear for them. So it's a lot emotionally every day, and I think that we can do our part and be like, hey, by the way, this thing is coming up for me in about a week or so. I know that I'm not going to be in the emotional place to be, whatever X, Y, and Z. Because at the end of the day, I think all of us have been through this year, this pandemic, and could understand somebody having a breakdown. Like, I think
Mhm.
if you haven't had a breakdown by now, I'm confused. I'm like, you are made of steel because it has been so exhausting. And I know that our students are suffering and they don't realize they can ask for help. Um, does your campus like also provide resources to the professors, like to let you guys know what is available to the students on campus in terms of like like, because I know like we had a therapy service on campus, right? Like there was a mental health office. You could go and get free therapy. There was like peer-to-peer mentor groups. There were all different types of resources available on campus. Is that something that they prepare you as a professor, or you just learn as you go?
Yeah, actually, this is one of the things that talk about during orientation.
Hmm.
The resources, for school related and personal related resources that the school provides. So, you like you mentioned, we do have uh, counseling services.
Hmm.
So, counseling services, the group therapy, one-on-one, even virtual therapy, they have that
Hmm.
counseling, couples, counseling as well. So there are a lot of resources, that are being provided for students for these kind of, situations.
Hmm. And then you have like flexibility with your deadlines as like the professor of the class too, where you can like give the extensions. Because I know like there was always a variety depending on, we used to do rate my professor. I wonder what your score is. We should Google you. But
Five.
is it? Are you lying?
No, no. I mean, I'm new, so I don't have one yet. But come December and January, you might see some.
Okay. Hey, we gonna don't think we're not gonna troll you. Listen, we are gonna check. Um,
I'm not ready for it.
but we would check those things. I think you'll be fine. Just to say, like, there's some professors who will like, hey, you can turn in everything at the end of the semester. Like, just know that if you turn it in late, then you're not going to have a chance to edit or get feedback or whatever, so your final grade is your final grade. So there's always kind of like some leeway between different professors. Is that something that's the same for you, or do you feel like it's a school by school kind of basis?
Oh yeah, I think we have a a power to kind of form our policy when it comes to assignment deadlines and submissions,
Mhm.
and with that whole like policy, we put it up on. We have a department guideline and policy, but
Mhm.
we kind of modify our own underneath it. So within that the scope.
Okay.
So I am kind of flexible, to be honest, compared to others.
Mhm.
So, for example, I have two. So one is, each day the assignment is late, you lose kind of like, 10 points, 10%. So, if it is a day late, you still get a 90, right?
Mhm.
And then the other one is depending on they're different depending on the class. So the other one is, you have 2 days.
Mhm.
So after that, it's not acceptable, right?
Mhm.
So, but if you let me ahead of time, though, as long as it's not last minute, and you reach out to me, hey, I have a question about this, I didn't understand this, there's something going on with me,
Mhm.
way ahead of time, not like, Sunday morning when when the
When
assignment
it's
is due,
due, yeah.
when it's due Sunday midnight, so ahead of time, I'm always, willing to, give you some stretch.
Okay. Because, I be trying to tell you, I'm like, Sammy, you were a student 2 seconds ago. Like, I know you were the A student, you had sinistrati, you used to go, you like do your stuff on time. But some of us, we be
Right.
struggling. So that's all we just asking for. I just wanted to prove a point too. Like, even Tigrayan, strict professors will work with you on deadlines. I'm just kidding.
Right.
Let me not troll you. Sammy's really a great guy, great professor. I'm sure. I'm sure, like, cause you do have patience. Like, I can see it. Like, you have a lot of patience, and and, and you usually will crack some jokes. So I'm always like, yeah, I think his students just don't know him yet, but it's also hard with virtual worlds to like feel people's energy and like know, it's a relationship at the end of the day. What you're describing
Mhm.
is any other relationship. Like, you can't assume that the other person knows. Like, I can't fix a problem I don't know exists. Like, I can't help you if you don't tell me what it is that you need. And there's resources for a reason. Like, universities understand that things are difficult, right? And if your teacher really can't understand, there's also, I mean, I don't know if it's too late now, but for next semester or whatever, withdraw from the class if you are not having a good time with your professor and your communication is not like there, and they're not, whatever, for whatever reason that relationship is not working out. Like, withdraw
Mhm.
early. Like, it's not worth you getting that failing grade on your transcript, especially if you're looking in a master's program or wanting to be in academia. Like, otherwise, C's get degrees. I know people don't want to hear that. Sammy gets mad at me when I say this, but C's get degrees. But if you're trying to be you want to be like us, you want to have an MS, you know what I mean? You want to get that master's, or you want to get that PhD, or like ED, whatever, JD. Like, there's all these acronyms you can get. Then you gonna have to get a better GPA. But until then, I think my favorite tool to manage all of that, Sammy, was, how like you guys input your grades on like Canva, or not Canva, Canvas, or whatever like systems you use.
Yeah.
I used to always be like, okay, I grab the syllabus, and this is like organization hack for people too. I write all my deadlines, and then I'm like looking at the scores. I'm like, what is weighted in what way? I'm like, test is 40%. Okay, cool. Homework is this percent, blah, 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 right? So, like, I would have a professor that the homework was only worth 10%. So it doesn't matter if I get 100% on that. It's only 10% of my grade. So if I miss a couple assignments, I'm going to be fine. Like, so I would
Right.
literally play the numbers game to be like, is it really worth stressing out over this assignment? As long as I study and do well on the test, my grade really won't be affected much. And I think that, like, sometimes we as students also have that difficulty, especially if you have immigrant parents that want you to have straight A's. Um, Woo,
Yeah.
child! I almost killed myself getting straight A's in my master's program. I did it, okay, but I do not wish that PTSD or anxiety on anybody else. I'm like, no, no, no. Unless you're trying to be like Zuhair, get a PhD. Our good sis. Hey, sis. Okay.
Zuzu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know she in here. Hey, sis. We see you. The rest of us, hey, C's get degrees. I'm just letting y'all know the truth of the matter. So, Sammy, I have some
Mhm.
interesting thoughts and ideas that I have wanted you to answer. What would you say, like, would be advice that you would give your younger self? Because you're doing great now. So I'm wondering, when you were younger, what that struggle would have been like, and what would you say to your younger self, like, in getting to this point that you're at now? What advice would you have?
That's a good question. Uh,
Look at you. Don't try to pretend
To
like you
be
were
honest,
an angel, perfect child, that you wasn't out here running around. That
I
what
think
helped you get like consistent and disciplined? Because you don't have an easy major. Like that's some hard stuff.
yeah. I think I used to stress out a lot.
Mm,
So, you right. So it's so funny now, like looking back, right?
mm-hmm.
Especially like coming to the states. When I came here, I was a teenager, right? So like a whole new environment, new language, new culture, and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So coming in, I was ninth grade. So when I came in, I used to stress out a lot, right? So, you know, and but like thinking back now, everything that you'll get through it. So like okay, graduated high school, right? Got to uh, college. First semester, I used to stress out a lot, and I didn't think I was gonna make it out like
Mm-hmm.
out of like college. Graduated college, and then got into grad school. Right, my first semester, I used to have this crazy like a stress, like every semester, beginning of semester,
Mm-hmm.
every class, right? And the crazy part is that like these classes, they used to stress me out just the first week. Just looking at the syllabus, I used to just freak out,
Yeah.
and then I ended up getting an A in that class. So one thing I would tell myself is just like hey, like like relax, everything will be okay, just don't stress out. I think I was kind of hard on myself, looking back. So I would have give myself a little bit of a break.
Amen. That's why I said C's get degrees. I'm trying to give them the break they need. That's what I'm trying to let them know. It's not worth it. Like I had that same anxiety every time. That first week, you get every syllabus, right? And it's just like, I
Mm,
gotta get what accomplished in how long? Oh my God. Like that's why I have an agenda. I have a planner. I don't play these games no more. That's why I said the first thing I did was look at the calendar, and this is really what helped me calm down. Was like, okay, let me write down all my major deadlines on the calendar, because then you can see, like on a large scale, okay, October to November, oh, I'm gonna have to calm down with the socializing. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna have to not have so many things on my calendar. But if you don't plan ahead, or if you don't look at the landscape of your life, you're gonna be stressed out. Like you are going to be, because that's on top of you had a full time job, right? So you have
mhm,
work deadlines on top of school deadlines that require your brain. You're not like in a useless, like, okay, let me not say useless. You're not in a skillless job. Like you're in a I have to use my creative brain to solve problems, right? Like that takes a different kind of energy. But then there's like
right.
physical labor jobs that make you so exhausted it's hard to even want to use your brain. So like depending on what your situation is not easy to manage. And then if you're, first generation students, I feel like a lot of them have jobs. You know what I mean? They're in student clubs, they're doing different passion projects, like whatever, maybe they have some side hustles. So if you don't get a calendar and put all your deadlines on there, you're always going to be overwhelmed because there's going to be always
Mm,
something due. You know what I mean? So I always
for
worry
sure.
about the people who don't do that. But that's what I used to do. That anxiety though is real. Those first couple weeks,
Yeah. Oof.
I'd be sick. I'd be so sick. And I joined a sorority my first semester of undergrad ever. Like I went straight into it. I was like on my in my dorm, I was on hall government. I was doing my sorority thing. I had like my own personal life outside of that with like the community and family stuff. Bro, my calendar used to overwhelm me. Like to the point, bro, I spent like it got so bad. My stress and anxiety got so bad. I had like a twitch in my eye. Like it wouldn't stop.
Wow.
It was bad. And then I had this like yawn that would not go away. Could you imagine like somebody's talking to you? You know how rude it is to just be like yawning constantly? Because I just could never feel like rested. Like I was so tired. Like I never felt like even when I would sleep, I would wake up and I would be tired because I'm like stressed about my deadlines, my workload. I got to be here. I got to do this. Like it was overwhelming, like beyond
Yeah, for sure.
overwhelming. Oof. Mm-mm. You just took me down memory lane. Okay, let me bring it back.
I know, right? Yeah.
Back 'cause I just felt all this PTSD, but I'm trying to be that
Yeah.
supportive person for everybody who's in school, so you know you don't have to kill yourself to do this. Like
Yeah.
you really don't. Take your time, take it easy, take it slow. Like most of the people who are putting pressure on you have not been in your situation, and so they're expecting things from you that they have no idea like what it takes to actually accomplish those things. So I just want to give people
Mhm.
like that validation. But okay, you have done an amazing job this far. I know you don't like doing these things. So I'm like, yes, I told everybody too. I was like, y'all, Sammy's gonna come on. No mean professor jokes. Like everybody gotta show love. Like we gotta be there for him. I'm telling you, I prepped everybody. I was not playing games today. So what I did want to ask, because you watch the show, we're getting here to the end, thinking about all these things and like the position that you're in now, what is it that you want your legacy to be? What do you want to leave this earth with? I know, right? It's like the 1-2 punch. It's like, come on, you can do
Right. Uh, Even before I got into this position, I mean, my uh, goal in life has always been, uh, leave something positive behind, right?
it.
Uh, like in anything that I do, right?
Yeah.
So with that being, like the education field now, leave something behind that people remember, you
Hmm.
know, impact people's life in a positive way. Uh, I think that's I want my legacy to be that.
That's beautiful. I would say you're really good at that because it's been some months since we've gotten to know each other and then got to see each other in person. And I will say that I never get a bad vibe from you. I know we like to
Oh,
troll you. Oh, we do. We do like to troll. You know what? Let me not say we because I feel like I'm usually defending. But
they're in the comments though. They're watching. You know
oh,
who
I
they are.
know. No, it's okay. We ain't saying no names or nothing. We just keep it PG over here. But no, I want to say that I think that's beautiful, and I think that because you are intentional about it, I feel like you actually do enter spaces that way. Like you're always very positive, even when you're tired or you're stressed. I feel like you're always laughing. Like I can tell you're like oof, and then you still try to crack a joke. You'll still try to like get the mood up, like especially the last few weeks I've noticed like the rest of us, like our energy has been down. We all know why. We know what we're dealing with, and you'll be like, what's up, how's your day, how you feeling, like like you're that guy, and it's so sweet and it's so nice. And there's a lot of people that I think take that for granted. So I like to give people their flowers like while they're here, and they can receive it. And I really honestly truthfully feel that way, Sammy, because there's been
Thank you.
some go ahead. Oh yeah, I was like, I gotta give you guys time to respond. um
Thank you. Thank you. I love it. I love it. Thank you.
yeah, of course. I really feel that. And I don't know if y'all in the comments, y'all want to say this too, but there's been some times I think for me, like, we'll have some tough conversations in our groups, and you're always on the side of like, okay, well, like I think we can understand, like and you'll try to be reasonable, to the extent, when they troll you, it's a different story. But I feel like you're usually trying to be positive or trying to understand or trying to be upbeat, always coming with good energy, like just I've seen that, and I've seen you get more comfortable and open up and just be encouraging. So I know that you're handling your students in the same way. Like I think the fact,
Appreciate it.
yes, no, you are. We talk a lot of shit, but no, you really are.
Listen, it's a different energy. When I have in-person, face-to-face classes as well. So with the compared to my online classes,
Mhm.
it's a whole different energy and different vibe. We just be kicking it. Talking about like the industry. Like
Mhm.
it's a good vibe, and a lot of them are kind of younger. I mean, like I'm close to their age, so like they feel more comfortable, like talking to me, having that relationship. So yeah,
Mm. Well, that's a good point. You like barely older than them. Like,
yeah,
well, it's because you be like you present like a wise man, you know. So like sometimes I forget that you're still a young buck. You know what I mean? Um, that's so funny. That's so funny for real. I always forget, but I that doesn't take me off the track of giving you your flowers. So I want you to know that. The last thing I want to say about that too is I think it takes a lot of or it shows a lot of integrity and character that you don't just react on your own. And I think like that's something that I see in you is that you ask the questions, you ask for advice, you ask for a second opinion, you ask for a different perspective. And I think that shows the character of someone who's open minded and who's willing to learn and who creates that space for for you to not be right. And I think that it
hmm
takes like a certain level of humility to do that, and self-awareness to be like, I don't know all the answers. Like you have confidence in yourself, and I think that shows because you're able to ask for help without it like attacking your masculinity in any way or making you feel less than. And I don't think that we say that enough, but that's a trait that I see in you that I think is like super dope. And I wanted you to know that. And I wanted to give you those flowers now because you know that that is not always the case with people. So I think that's dope. And I think that your
I
students are
really
lucky to
appreciate
have
it.
a teacher like that. Yeah,
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I got you. Y'all be trying to hate, but all I do is show love to y'all.
Big facts for sure.
That's it. I'll be just trying to show love. Every once in a while, I say my opinion, but most of the
Yeah.
time, I'm just like, you guys, like, why can't we just love each other? We all just want different things. So, oh, this is gonna crack you up. I don't know if you can see the comments. But
Oh no,
Zion said Hannah's love language must be words.
for sure, for real. Yeah.
They're not though. They're not. At least for my love. Remember we did the Sammy. We did the love languages test in the club, and we made all of
Yeah,
you
we
guys take
did.
it. It was not
Yeah.
words of affirmation. Were not. It was like my third or fourth. But
Oh,
I'm glad you guys think that. Maybe it is. Maybe I need to take the test again.
yeah,
But
we take it. Those
yeah,
things do change.
I've taken it like 3 times. So I'm like, I think I'm just really good at giving them. You know.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know. And like it's cool when people say things to me. But I'm all about action. I'm like, that's cute. You just said a whole lot of nice things, but you gonna put some action behind it? Because yeah. Why you laughing, Sammy? Because we have these conversations. Like, I
Yeah.
don't.
Let me see the work.
That's it. Like, potential is cool, but if you're not gonna do nothing with it, I don't need it. What am I supposed to do with it? I gotta tap into my own potential. What am I gonna do with all yours? Like, come on.
Yep.
No, no, no. Okay, let me get off of that soapbox because we do not need to rehash that conversation. Okay, y'all. So listen, everybody, thank you. Thank you, Sammy. Look at you. You did the whole time slide. You did great. Like
Right.
no issues. He was worried. He was like, I don't know about being on camera. I was like, come on, Sammy. Like you like you can do it. Like,
You see, like I told you, it's one of those things like, like you kind of get nervous like
yeah.
as you start it, and then, you get comfortable, like, as time goes on. That's how I felt like my first day in class, walked in, and I was like, hey, am I really here? Turned on the slides, and then got through the first slide. I was like, yo, I can do this. This is my classroom. I got this.
Okay.
And I,
He said, "This is my classroom. I got this."
exactly. And then, it went on from there. So, yeah.
Listen, if self confidence had a face, okay, Sammy, this is what we love to see. This is what we love to see. I'm about to start telling people this is my classroom. This me and you right here. This is my classroom. These interviews, I'm gonna tell them the same thing. Killing it. You
Yeah.
can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna have that Sammy confidence all week. That's it. That's all I needed you to come here and tell me. Y'all,
There
that
you
was
go.
a gem. That was a gem. Okay, I hope people caught it. Like, I really hope people caught it because I'd be telling all my followers, not even just my followers, but the Uprooted family, like, take notes, bro. I bring on really cool people. Take notes. Don't let them pass you up because they dropping real life gems on how to get through life. So you did a phenomenal job, Sammy. That concludes Black Men Speak Sundays. Y'all, we love you so much. Thank you for joining us. Look at we got some love. We got some love. She said, "We love you, Sammy Howe. This was wonderful. You already know." Zuzu was like, "This is my classroom now, a gem." I'm telling you, Sammy, go ahead and keep that one. Tweet that one. Like,
Yep.
listen, she's like, "This is my classroom now." Like, I have never been like respectfully shunned. Like, this, like, beautiful. No, beautiful. So y'all, appreciate y'all so much. Again, this is Black Men Speak Sundays. Tomorrow, Manifest Mondays. I'm closing out my series on highlighting domestic violence and triggers and how we deal with the pain in our life. Wednesday, I'm also going to be doing a special episode. I'm not going to give you guys too many details on that, but just know I'm honoring some legacies for me, some people that I've lost, and I need to honor some legacies. And Thursday, we're going to be in Clubhouse because we need to do this better. We need to learn how to relate and communicate with one another better. So make sure you are following your girl there. I may or may not have a special guest coming on Friday who may or may not be in the comments, who may or may not be talking about the upcoming protest. Details coming soon. Keep your eyes out. It's been a while since I did an unplanned thing. So y'all know, just be ready. I'm gonna have somebody fun on. But Sammy, thank you so much for coming on. Y'all, give it up for him one time. Make sure you are following Sammy on all his platforms. We didn't get too much into it, but Sam got a photography page going. We love to see it. You want to tell them about it as we close out?
Yeah, I mean, I do photography, just as a hobby, and I got an Instagram page at Sam Moldy Photography. Go and check it out. Follow. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm about to have you working. Okay, not only you gonna fix my computer, you gonna set me up with the right production set so we could be like we
I
gonna take
got
Uprooted
you.
to the next level. We gonna shape my information gonna be secure. Listen, your network is your net worth. Get you a Sammy in your life, y'all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just do that. Dowie in here sending you some fire. Cece over here talking about this was dope. Look, we all love you. And Zuhair said it best. We all love you, Sammy. Thank you once again for coming on. Everybody have a beautiful Sunday. If you watch Insecure premiere is coming on shortly. That's what I'm about to do. Just so you know, and we can have a debrief later. But thanks everybody. Have a good
Thank
Sunday.
you.
Bye
Bye.
y'all.